What is happening, everybody, man? Thank you guys tuning in to another episode of Expert Mentors Live, episode 301. And we've got the one and only Cindi Featherston-Shields back in the house. Cindi, how are you?
Oh, great, John. I want to thank you for having me on today. This is always a pleasure to come on with
So,
you.
yeah, I mean, I love every time we get to jump in here and chop it up. And looking back, so this is our fourth go around on Expert Mentors. So it's good to always have you back. And it's been about a year, and it's just really interesting, especially your perspective and longevity in this industry, to be able to see, the ebbs and flows and the cycles and things that we kind of go through. And it's definitely been an interesting ride the last 12, 18 months. And, I know we're going to get into, really the essence, even inside of the AI era, is still, a focus of building connection, bringing people together and building community, which you're one of the best at and have really centered your whole business model around, bringing people together and connecting with folks at a high level. But I would just love, for you to kind of share your perspective of, what this market feels like, what it looks like, where you kind of feel things are moving towards.
John, when you build community, it kind of makes your business a little bit recession proof. We we have a community that we have really dug into here in our area in East Texas. Me personally, as an agent, it's a golf course community. That's where I live. My husband plays golf there. And, just building that community out, I mean, it continues to pay very well. It's because you make these connections. Your business is good because you keep the connections going. You don't slow down. You don't stop, even though that the economy maybe doesn't seem to be as good as it was. You continue, you double down on it. This year, I actually put a billboard outside the community just to make sure everybody knew who I was when they were driving in. Yeah. And we still have our moving truck. It's parked in the community as well. So I think building those relationships is even more important. We want to talk about AI a little bit. AI cannot build those relationships. I know I've listened to a lot of training on AI, possibly replacing real estate agents, and that, in my opinion, will never happen because you're looking at a demographic of people, at least my demographic of people, the people that have money that are in golf communities. A lot of times they are not on AI. They're not AI users. They are still face-to-face people. They want the agent that knows the community. They want to know that the agent is familiar with and connect them with other people in the community. That's been my experience.
Yeah, I love that. And looking at, all the ways, and I'm sure I know we're going to unpack and get into it as we talk about all the ways to make deposits into that community, right? To stay connected with them. I guess a couple things, thinking, proximity to, and we're saying, obviously community, pouring into the community, but also geographical. How important is it that you live there? I would feel that we would have to have some type of connection or upside, or why does Cindi even care about this particular area, this community? If, kind of an outsider trying to come in and how hard is that? If you were not living inside of the Cascades, if you weren't living in there, do you think it would be to be able to really build that presence?
It definitely would be more difficult. That's why, we do live there. We've lived there since 2008, and we've built this community of people, and we've built products around it. I mean, a website, for instance. I mean, people still go to websites. We live in a high-rise building. I actually got 3 people yesterday that hit me on my website through the website page, interested in units at our building. And I control that website. I mean, I'm the one that's on the website for our high rise. And so it's, you want to be the person that they think of when they think of going and, for instance, living at the Cascades. You want to be that person that they think of. And you want to be that person that they tell if they're driving down the street and they start asking about real estate, oh, you need to call Cindi. There's always one person like that in a community usually. And if there's not, you need to be that person. That means that there's more opportunity. It's a little harder to dig into a community when there is that one person. We do have people that do list property in the Cascades, but it's hard for them. It's a little harder, a little bit more difficult for them.
Yeah.
Because just the network of the people that you know, because you have sold most of the property there. When I say most of the property in our residential high rise, there's 80 units there. I've sold most of the units. And then the ones I didn't sell, I got to know the people once I got there. And the way we get to know them is we drop a little charcuterie box on their door about once a month, or we drop some kind of value all the time. We're always hosting the Margarita Friday with the guacamole live in the lobby of our high rise. And so it continues to build that community. And then it filtrates out into the community because it's a golf course community of the people that live in the homes. There's about 367 doors is our farm area. That's all. But it's a very lucrative community when you love on the people. I have a set meeting every Sunday at 4:00 with the same client. And we've had this for years. We go to the country club and have dinner together. We have become friends. She travels with us. We have groups of people that travel with us. When we go on cruises, when we go on golf trips, a whole group goes usually.
Yeah.
It is an amazing community.
It really is. And you poured into it. And so moving into that area in 2008, give some context, right? Because we're what is that, 17, 18 years now inside of this community. So a lot of agents coming in, right? They're, okay, Cindi, I hear you, right? And they're like, oh, well, she's got all of this, I'm trying to get there. And it's like, she's on chapter 18. You just opened the book. So how long, 2008, and obviously all the stuff that you've done, we just didn't come dump everything, right? It's just it's a build and build and build upon it. But what was kind of the time frame to where that community really started to, start where you can pull some withdrawals because of all the deposits you were making?
You're exactly right. We did a lot of deposits into this community. It was a new construction to begin with. I think if anybody ever lands a new construction gig, you need to stay with it. I see so many agents who go in and they sell the new construction. Maybe they're the person in the model that sells the new construction, and then they abandon it. They abandon the people, But what I felt like whenever I was selling a property to someone in this area, I'm selling to my friends. They become my friends. And you have to make sure that, and I'm selling for my friends. It's an interesting position to be in, because these people will buy and sell through you 5 or 6 times. There's some of them that I've sold and bought right in the community 5 or 6 times the same person. So we have people that move out of the community, then they move back into the community. So you want to be the one that they call.
Yeah.
We have a moving truck. It's parked down on the curb. People see it every day when they come in and out of the building. And the key stays at the front desk. And anybody can use it at any time. They just call me and they put it on the calendar.
Yeah.
I had a guy that's reserving it for Saturday. I sold him his unit probably 8 years ago. And he has referred different people to me since then. But he says, hey, Cindi, I got a couch I got to go get rid of. Okay. The moving truck's there. So you're just constantly giving that value.
Yeah. And for us, I mean, the moving truck was probably had one of the highest ROIs out of anything that we ever did. And it just allows you to make a lot of connections a lot faster. And what we found, to your point, right? Clients, current clients, past client, people that we, maybe haven't transacted with in a long time, utilize it. But what we found was the community was utilizing it more and more for different aspects, right? Like whatever, there was tornado that ripped through, Oklahoma City. And so they set up a supplies drive and water and everything else that they were running up to Oklahoma City from Lawton. And our moving truck was there, right? They were one of the first people. Hey, can we y'all's truck? Heck yeah, come get it right now. And so I think, that is such a great investment, especially inside of a community like that, to where, or even a smaller community like Lawton, right? A smaller town. I mean, Tyler's a pretty good size, but still, it's still a small connected community to be able to have that visibility. And then you take it even nicher, even tighter inside of the Cascades area.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because it's a golf community, we host a golf tournament every year for WAGS, our nonprofit. Our nonprofit gives money back in spade, neuter, and transport of rescue animals here in our area. We have a high-end retail shop. We have about 6,500 square feet of retail space in another location in town, and it's fully staff ran by a manager. But that's one way we give back to the community, and we find that a lot of our people that are in our golf course community bring furniture in and out of it, buy furniture, donate furniture, they consign furniture with us. So that's another thing that this golf community supports it.
Yeah.
And then we turn around, we're going to have a golf tournament on October the 13th to raise funds for our nonprofit 501c3. The golf tournament tonight, we're having our first committee meeting. We've got about 45 days to put this together, but it's going to be a slam dunk because we put them together every year. It brings that community close together. We'll raise some good money in it. And again, more community.
Mm-hmm. And I think it really helps too, doing those events, trying to obviously for good causes,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all designed to bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I love, especially if you are in a position, you want to be a team lead, you want to, grow. And I know we're going to talk about, building the agent community in a second,
Mm-hmm.
but what I always found is that it gave us an opportunity to get our team together and our team involved in something, be it being an event, a charity event, but we're all together, the team's together, but the community gets to see the team.
Mm-hmm.
Although like you're the face, but they also get to see all the other, people that make you and allow you to do what you can do. And so that's why, I just like, if you are really, committed, this is going to be a gig that you're going to stay committed to for a 5, 10, 15, 20 year career, whatever run, this takes time, right? To really start to go, but you've got to make as many deposits as you can and just know that it's just a matter of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Back to the golf thing, even tournaments that we don't have anything to do with, they've asked us to do the beverage tent for them. And we set up the Bloody Marys and the mimosas. And it's usually geared toward the ladies' events. And because the ladies make a lot of decisions, buying decisions. And so we give the snacks away, we give the drinks away, we have a branded tent. A lot of times we bring our dogs out to meet them. And so it just, again, it builds it more and more community. We have the Ladies Golf Association that actually supports us now, supports and writes a check to WAGS because of the support that we give the Ladies Golf Association.
That's a great point. What you were just saying, because I was thinking about this, and I know we can talk about it with the agent side of things, but when you get into, okay, who's my ideal, but maybe who's my best avatar in this geographical location, right? Because that's what it's always about. Because then it's like, okay, well, what is the best opportunity, the best avatar that's going to be the one that makes most of the decision-making power? Mm-hmm. What are their pain points? Mm-hmm. And how can I be a solution to their struggles and their pain? Mm-hmm. And if I can win that person, if I can win in the mind of that person, then it should help me, make it easier to win the rest of the community. Mm-hmm. And for you, is it the women in the community that play golf? Is that really the ideal, the best avatar in your geographical area?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our avatar is about 55 years and older, and usually they are on social media. They're watching what you're doing. They watch very closely what you're doing. I had one of my clients the other day that texts me every morning, some kind of motivational. First thing in the morning, I get it from her. But she saw where I posted where I did a Labor Day challenge to my agents. And I posted a little something. So the next morning she said, time to get out of bed. You got to go today. You've got some big goals. That's how I started my morning with my clients, seeing social media. And she's probably in her 70s. Uh-huh. But again, they're on social media watching what you're doing. I'm friends with all of them on social media. They're watching you real close.
Real close. And
very close to what you're doing.
So it's really, really, interesting when you step back and start to think, and that's the knowing your best avatar, right? We have that whole ideal avatar. We have that in the value proposition, but like, who's the best? Like, who's the one that can really move the needle for me? And once you know that, then you can start making content specifically speaking to your best avatar, not speaking to everybody, speaking to them. And obviously we'll get into the agent side of things, because your avatar, you're speaking to them too, right? Helping them solve. But know the age. So 55 and above. Okay. Where do they hang out? They hang out on Facebook. They're on Facebook all the time, the time. So your content has to be where they are. And so it's just super important to understand that. And then you just flood it with the content that speaks directly to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They like to see you travel. They a lot of times want to go with you. They like recipes. They like social. They like getting together. If you're hosting events, they like to come to your events. We host a Christmas party that has 200-300 people at it, and all of our clients are invited to that. And so, and it's like the who's who that's going to the Christmas party. It's they love it. They love coming to our events. We host several through the year, also smaller events at the high rise that we live in, and people will come. My husband, he got qualified for the U.S. Senior Open this year. Did. I mean, within 5 hours, we had put together an event, and I think there were 50 people at it, just like that, from the neighborhood, from the time that they announced it to him driving home to surprise him when he got home. Yeah. So it's just all that wonderful community of these people that become your friends. It's so enriching. I mean, not just from sales, but it's so enriching just to have these people in your lives.
Yeah, it's a fulfillment side of things, and it's just because of the time frame. So, talking to a newer agent, moved in, kind of give them the ABC. Hey, this let it cook for a little bit. Let's do it a little. Then we move into this. Let it cook a little bit longer. Move into this. Let it cook even longer. You're not going to get to what everything you're talking about. I mean, we're talking 18 years, right? And so what would you say to an agent that's looking to get into and start, like, hey, I love to socialize. I love connecting with people. I love building community. Where do I start?
The thing about it, you can't be just a surface. You can't be on the surface. These people got to know you care. You have to be in their community. You're an agent. You're going to live somewhere. Think about it. You may as well move to an area that you actually want to dig in to the neighborhood. And when I say dig in, I mean give it your all, with mailers, the moving truck, the billboards, over a period of time. Like I said, you're going to live somewhere. My husband is totally fine living where we live because he knows it's part of our business. We, again, have lived there since 2008. I would suggest, as a brand new agent, and you're going to burn the boats, and this is what you're going to do, there's no alternative. Because I'll tell you, in my opinion, there's no other business for a female to do that you can make the kind of money and support your family and change their lives than real estate. Yeah. I mean, you can't replace this. I can't replace this, what we have, with anything else. I don't have a college education. And even if I did, it wouldn't matter. Right. You can't replace what we have here. So if you're really going to plan on building a business, you dig in somewhere. That's the first thing you do. I train this all the time to our agents, and people, I don't know if I want to go move into this neighborhood and really dig in. You need to do it like your life depends on it. And that's what we did. We moved to the Cascades. We did the high-rise project. It's good to be involved in new construction of a project to begin with. There's lots of new constructions I could have dug into now that I've seen the formula for it. I've seen some of our agents do new constructions and they never moved into the neighborhood. Right. They did it from afar. And then when they sold their last one, they moved. They're just not there anymore. So, but there's a lot of business to have happen if you go live in a neighborhood that you want to develop. It's going to be hard developing one that you don't live in.
Yeah, you and Andrew are the best ones I've ever seen to take over, to really, really, like, we hear agents say, yeah, I took the, like, but really take it over, like the massive amount of market share. I mean, your market share has got to be off the charts, just like Andrew's. But Andrew did the same thing, right? He wanted to live in this lake community, and he just got out on the boat and ran into a bunch of, the loud people on the lake that talked to everybody, that socialized with everybody, and he hit it off with them. And then it took a life of its own. But I agree with you. You got to be there. You got to live there. And it gives you just so much more opportunity to connect, and the collisions. I think that's the biggest thing, is that, we do the events, but if you're there, you have an opportunity to collide with them a lot more.
Absolutely. You become a part of their world. They become a part of your children's world. We adopted Tony when he was 2 years old, and he's 18 now. These people have seen this kid grow up. They're supporting everything he does. He has a mobile detailing business, and he's on the street detailing all their cars on the weekends. And so it's just a big community that supports everything. So anyway, but that's the advice I would give. Figure out where you want to live when you get into this business. And like I said, you dig into an area. Listings are the name of the game. When you have the listing, you attract the buyers. And when you dig into the community, you know the lifestyle. I mean, we're not just selling houses, we're selling a lifestyle here, where you can take a widower that has moved from across the country, and they land there at the Cascades. We're able to network them into people. They're not going to be lonely anymore. We have people where their spouses die, and they move to a different condo or move to a different house. We're there for that. As they meet their new person and they get married again, we have seen so much their lives evolve right before our eyes, because we've been there so long. We've seen their kids grow up. Again, we've seen their spouses pass away. And so you just really intertwine. Again, this is not transactional business. This is business that you love these people. I mean, absolutely adore the people that you are buying and helping sell, and you want to protect them. That's the biggest thing.
What I really love about it, right? We all have to understand that it's customer acquisition cost and then lifetime value. And when you look at this, right, like quantifying the lifetime value of the relationships that you've had just in that community since 2008, and then think about, you put a lot of sweat equity. Yeah, you do make a financial investment back into it, but you put a lot of time and energy in connecting with people, and that's the acquisition cost, is your time. And then all of a sudden, you're able to reinvest, throughout the whole community. But the lifetime value, I mean, it's hard to measure, right? It's so exponential from what the acquisition cost was.
Absolutely. I mean, again, if I had this to do over again, I would have done it just exactly the way we did it. Again, we are about entertaining people, we're about giving, and we're about supporting the community. I remember there's been events that we've hosted at the country club where we would pass out dessert vouchers, and the country club would just put everybody's dessert on our tab that night. We would give them a little voucher and desserts on the property shop tonight. I mean, there's so many little things you can do that brightens people's day. I mean, people love it.
Yeah. And they don't forget the way you make them feel. And that's really what it's about. So Cindi, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's go to the agent side of things. We talked about geographically and being able to, connect with the homeowners and then the new buyers coming in, and really, being an integral part of that geographical community and whatever that is for you. And so shift gears a little bit, because you've really have the same concept with the agents and really bringing people together, creating collisions, and it's the whole connecting, right? Being able to connect with the people you need to connect with, pouring in. So kind of talk about it, because like your you have the best office I've ever seen, and but it was strategically designed, and it was done through a lot of learning, and what people resonate with, what keeps bringing people back, and how you can connect and deepen the relationship. So yeah, let's shift on the agent side of things.
I love this. One of the things, John, I've got to stop and tell you this. I got to spend a few days with Tina Call.
Yes.
And the first thing she did before she really talked to anybody in the house, Mary sent out links to everybody for Working Genius. And everybody took the test, and then we fed it into AI and came up with your leadership blueprints. Tina was amazing to, we talked about Working Genius before, but we've never really dug into it. And I would encourage anybody to dig into Working Genius because we came back to our office and we tested everybody, all of our staff, all of our agents. We've got graphs and we've got charts now of what people are. And I tell you this because you want to know who you're dealing with, what brings them joy, what they love, especially if they're going to team up and partner with you. And so here in our office, anybody we hire, any agent we hire, they're going to go through the Working Genius because we want to know what makes them tick? What do they enjoy doing? Because as they say, if you're doing something that you're not enjoying, you're going to burn out pretty quick. We do have a lot of galvanizers. Our industry is full of galvanizers, but you have to have the people with tenacity also and discernment that goes with that. And that's what we're kind of looking for when we look at agents. So where's their strong points and what is their love? And so we have implemented Working Genius in our office, thanks to Tina Call. And we are really thriving right now because we're able to put people together and have them build projects. Our golf tournament committee tonight, a lot of our agents are a part of that, the ones that are the galvanizers. And then we have the people that want to do the book work part of it and the communicating part of it, like the tenacity people. So we've built our committee around that for our golf tournament tonight that we're having a meeting. So I wanted to, before we got into that, I wanted to tell you that. But our office is built on community. Back when we started selling the high rise, we were placing ads all over the state of Texas to bring people to Tyler. D Magazine, Texas Monthly. We would spend thousands of dollars in marketing to get people into Tyler to see this high rise. And you know what? It didn't work. It didn't work. People saw these beautiful ads. We spent lots of money on Google back then, and it didn't work. But what did work is when we brought community together and we hired a chef. And we began to feed people. And people started coming to dinner on Thursday nights at the high rise where they got to bring a friend and they would sit and they would eat together some great meal. We spent less money on food than we spent on ads. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. And that's how we filled this high rise up, is feeding people, having events. So we carry that on with our company. We have a chef that works for us. And she feeds people. She feeds our agents. She feeds when we had a big CE class yesterday. It's sponsored out. We sell ads also on our television screens here in our center. It pays for a lot of this. So that's how we bring people together for community. People know that we are about really good food and we do it very well. I think Michael Reese says I run a restaurant.
You do.
I do, and I do it very proudly.
Yes, so yes, you do. You run it.
Spend $1,500 a month on food than spend it on a funnel.
Yes,
that brings a whole bunch of people into a CRM that you have to weed through to get one or two buyers.
Yeah,
that's not for me. That's not me. That's not how I market.
Right.
I get belly to belly, face to face, and we eat and we talk, and we develop lifetime relationships.
Mhm. Yeah, and you just accelerate the process, right? The ones that
Mhm.
are willing to take it out of their time, yeah, they're
Mhm.
coming for something, but yet they are coming and they're
Yeah.
showing up and
Mhm.
they're getting knee to knee, face to face with you.
Mhm.
And you're able to then really accelerate the process because now you're able to start having a conversation
Mhm.
and
Exactly.
you just get to talk. You get to, like you said, build the relationship. It
Mhm.
was I had Whistle on Expert Mentors on 4th of July, and we kind of went through, the 5 things that team leads all have to have, moving into the
Mhm.
future. Every business has to have these 5 things. And he said after the fact, he goes, there's really only 2 things that matter right now. And he goes, I used to clown on these guys. He goes, know how to build relationships and know what to say. He said, if you
Mhm.
know how to bring people together and build relationships and you know how to communicate and talk to people, you're going to thrive. And it really is, you accelerate the process when you have, curated an environment that in like your office is strategically designed, right, to be able
Mhm.
to, bring people in together and facilitate conversations, even with the little different sitting areas
Mhm.
around the area. You can kind of um, curate a specific conversation in
Mhm.
whatever it is that you want to have, either clients coming in or other agents, and being able to really get them to feel comfortable in an environment to where they want to open up and they want to share.
Mhm.
And that's just it's really brilliant of what you've been able to design and do.
Yeah, we designed an office about 3 years ago now. We've been in
Yeah,
this space,
yeah.
and when people walk in the door, they go, "Wow,"
Hmm.
because it's not like your traditional real estate office. It's not called the property shop. It's not called. It's called the Center for Real Estate Professionals, and it's got Success Center when you walk in the door. It's got lights shining down on the logo. It's got these big round booths. It's just very comfortable.
Hmm.
People love it. Usually you can smell a little food of what she's cooking for that day. And you just feel like you've just walked into a coffee shop.
Hmm.
It's warming. We have snacks on the bar. We have all the sodas and waters. It's opening and it's inviting.
Hmm.
Anybody can walk in here and feel welcome. That's the whole key. We wanted people to feel welcome. If we're having an event, usually I'm at the door hugging people. We are big huggers here and we're greeting people. We don't want anybody to ever walk in to our office and never be spoke to.
Yeah,
There's some offices that you walk into and the owner never speaks to you.
yeah,
And that's not how I ever want to have anybody leave our facility, is not being spoke to
yeah.
and not feeling good about coming. So the working genius, that was one of my things is I'm a galvanizer, but I'm also an enabler.
Hmm.
We support
Your team, you
people.
bring people together. Yeah.
We bring people together and we support them, and we want them to feel that way. So we have built our whole culture around that. Our agents are that way as well. So anyway.
I love that. I was just pulling up. I was trying to find. I have all of the major breakdown of that, and obviously a deep understanding. Spending a lot of time with Tina going through everything. But what I really love about, and this is just brilliant in the committees and bringing people together and strategically placing them. I mean, you're selecting the jury, right? You're
Mhm.
strategically putting, the jury the way that you want it, to stack the odds in your favor. And that's really what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to bring people together that can come together, that is going to have a higher probability of the output that we're looking for.
Mhm.
Because if you put frustrated people into a high level conversation, so if you put your GTs in a vision conversation and a problem solving conversation, they're probably going to get pretty frustrated pretty quick.
Mhm.
They're like, what are you doing, man? I gotta go. I got stuff to do. I gotta knock my stuff out. Like what? Like
Mhm.
this is a waste of time, right? And I remember before the working genius, I was like, why are you getting frustrated? Why do you think you just got to go and go do, like, what's going on here? And it's then
Mhm.
going through it. You're like, okay, that makes sense. Okay. I know not to include you in these conversations in the future. So it's really good, at bringing people together. I love what she done. I can't wait to see her leadership blueprint. I don't know if she talked to you about the relationship blueprint, but that's a another exciting project. Hopefully, be able to unveil sooner rather than later. But
Just a tad.
just a tad.
I
But
love it.
it is. It's I look back on just rough patches in relationships, and if I just understood them and the way they ticked, then the whole frustration would have been avoided. And it's just it's really important. And I think even from different types of events and different types of value add to agents, if you know their genius, their competencies, and their frustrations, you know where to plug them into and where not to plug them into.
Absolutely, 100%. It's very eye-opening. Very eye-opening when you can get your agents to do the work in Genius and you actually map it out and you understand if they're not coming to sales meeting, why are they not coming to sales meeting? Or if they're coming to sales meeting, but they're not getting on the 8:30 calls in the morning. You just kind of start looking at them, but then you hear how productive they are. You can really see what their working genius is coming alive.
Yeah. And then you know how to best support them. Right. I think that's also going back to your community. What is my gift? What is my, working genius? How can I utilize my strengths to better support this community? How can I better support you, agent, and what you're trying to accomplish, instead of forcing, a standard on them or hitting them over the head with something that's like, taking stuff away that like, they're like, let me run, I'm a runner. That's what I'm built to do.
One of the things it did, John, is it actually allows you to step into your working genius. You think that you have to be all these things to everybody. And when you find out what you operate in that brings you the most joy, it allows you to step into it and own the role.
Yeah.
And that's what I found, that whenever they, I feel like I'm an introvert, quite a bit of an introvert person. But then when my top thing in Working Genius was a galvanizer, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, now I could step into this role better, because that is what my love is. Yeah. So it helps you yourself, not just to be able to communicate with other people, but it helps you to be able to communicate with yourself.
I love that. Right. And I think, even before mapping out these community plans, these community things, like you need to have as much self-awareness about who you are. That's why, take the DISC, take the predictability, quiz, take colors, take the Colby, but make sure to take the working genius. And the reason I love it so much is because it's so simple. Like, it's so simple, so easy to understand, and you get it quick, right? It's like, oh, okay, do that. Don't do this. And okay, then I need to understand these other type of, people and what to avoid with them, to where, we can keep trying to accomplish whatever we're, trying to work together to accomplish.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Back to building community with agents. Man, you got to love on your people. You got to be able to talk to them, make sure that you're available. One of the things that we do is we do that 8:30 call every Monday through Friday, with the exception of Tuesday, and it's face-to-face. John, when I was coaching with you, you're the one that told me to do that. And I will tell you, we have been consistent with it ever since then. And how long ago was it that we started our coaching?
I mean, when did we start working together? 11, 12 time frame. So getting that implemented as soon as possible. And you've been so consistent with it. You've been so disciplined and consistent with it.
We have never stopped doing it. We actually it was a phone call back then, because Zoom was not. But after COVID, Zoom, everybody was on Zoom at that point. It's a Zoom call now. We see each other face to face at 8:30 in the morning. People get on the Zoom call, and we don't miss. We don't not have the Zoom call. If I'm not there leading it, somebody's leading it, but I'm usually the one leading it. And so they get to actually, as a leader, they get to talk to you. If they have any questions, but it's a very structured call. John told me how to structure it from the very beginning. It's tell us something good. And then it's your KPIs, your key performance indicators that's moving the needle for you that day. And they are gushing to tell you what they have going on. Agents want to report their KPIs on that call. So, and they're very excited about it, especially if you can put a challenge together. Labor Day, we started a challenge. When people aren't usually, they're going to be off for Labor Day. Not us, 8:30, man, we're on that
We're
call.
there.
I called a special call that day because what we want to do is we want to finish out the next 4 months to the end of the year with as much production that we did the first 8 months. So that's the challenge I put. And then our new people, 6 transactions. If you're brand new in the business, you're just now getting your wings starting. So we got a lot of new people. 6 transactions is our goal by the end of the year. And then our more experienced people, some of them are having to do 13, 14 transactions, double basically their production.
Yeah.
So they're ready to go. They're warriors right now.
You got them laser focused. They're focused in, and it's more of that. Okay, well, I did that in 8 months. I got to do it in 4. What has to change, right?
Exactly. You can't keep doing it the same
I'm
way.
I'm raising the floor. What has to change, right? What do I need to eliminate? What do I need to say no to? What do I need to focus on? It's absolutely critical. You do some awesome challenges. Layer that into the agent. I mean, obviously we're talking, the agent community, but now we're talking the community of your organization, your people, your team. How critical has incorporating challenges into your agents on a pretty consistent basis, having a challenge going almost all the time?
Yeah. And, we got away from a lot of the challenges. You just kind of sit back and go, everybody, you're adults, you should be able to do this. But guys, that is not how it works. It fuels people when they're challenged. I can even just tell since Monday how fueled our people are to go out and get it done. And they love the challenges. It's gamification is what it is for people. Mike Schume talks about it. It's gamification. You need to gamify your people. It's always got to be some kind of promotion. And it doesn't have to have a big prize at the end of it. It's the bragging rights. It's the competition. We have 2 people that are competing heavily right now in our office. They're always wanting to know. They're looking at CSU to see who's ahead. We do subscribe to CSU. That's where all their numbers go. But we're tracking conversations right now. But I'm really kneeling down on the right conversations. It's not just 20 conversations or 10 conversations or 5 a day. It's having the right conversations with people. The people that are ready to buy and sell. Yeah. You can call a cold call list all day long, but those people are not ready
all
to
day.
buy and sell.
So it's also, and it was really good because I'd kind of latched on to the 4 Ds of execution, right? What is your one number? And I got so fixated just kind of thinking about the one number. And I was talking with Blake, and he's like, if you just focus on proteins, your carbs and your fats can be out of whack and throw it all out the window. He's like, you got to have the balance, and what does that all tie under, right? So it's like, hey, we want to hit proteins, carbs, fats within our calorie count. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he goes, so we do that with our agents. It's like, to your point, it's not just conversations. Yes, that's the protein. But did you ask for the appointment? And he said when he started expanding just one metric and looking at the macros, it changed their behavior in that, to your point, I'm just chasing, hey, Cindi said I got to have 20 conversations. I had 20. Okay, well, how many of those conversations did you ask for the appointment? Now I need to have 20 conversations that can lead to me asking for the business. There's another step to this. Instead of chasing one number, I know this number, and how do I need to handle it will lead to the next number to be able to pay attention to. And he's like, it's not overwhelming. I'm not going to give you one number. I'm not going to give you 10. I just want you to track 3. And it was really eye-opening. So I love that what you just said is like, not just chasing 20 conversations. It's 20 meaningful conversations that lead to an appointment.
Absolutely. And guys, if you have the listing, we're chasing the listing. We're not chasing the buyers. You chase the listings, the buyers come. And so many funnels are built to chase the buyer. You need to chase the listing. You need to chase the seller. because when you get the seller, you get the buyers.
Mhm.
And you will burn yourself out. I feel like in this business, if you're just calling people just to call people,
Mhm.
you got to get really laser focused on people that are needing you.
Mhm.
And you need to figure out how to filter those people out, the ones that need you, expireds, for sub owners.
Mhm.
I told my agents this morning, you've got to focus on the sellers and stop focusing on the buyers so much.
Mhm.
Chasing the buyer lead that doesn't want to buy.
Mhm.
They just happen to click on something on the internet.
Yeah. It
So
is. It's so important, because it dilutes focus, and then I think it just drives up more frustration, Cindy, like you were saying.
mhm,
And
mhm,
if you can be like, okay, like like I can only focus on one avatar in the market, the best avatar. It's always the motivated seller,
mhm,
and it's like, if that's all you could focus on your day, you're going to be laser focused. You're looking for nothing but motivated sellers,
mhm,
and it's the reticular activator. It's like, you're like, hey John, I'm thinking about getting this, you know matte black, SUV with this interior, this, and then all of a sudden you start to see them because your reticular activator goes up. And now it's like, hey, I just want you to focus on motivated sellers. That's it.
mhm,
That's your reticular activator. Now, everywhere you look, that's all you're going to be looking for is motivated. So it's like if you never knew the arrow and the spoon were in the FedEx logo, but once you know it's in the FedEx logo, you can't help but see the spoon and the arrow every time you look at the
mhm,
FedEx logo.
mhm.
And I love that. You just got to get them, hey, singular focused. I want you waking up. I want you going to bed thinking about motivated sellers.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of everything else,
Yeah.
the funnels, the social media, the TikTok videos, all that stuff. It's got to be about the lead. It's got to be about the person. It's got to be about the seller right now.
Yes. 100%. It has to, everything has to gear towards that. If not, it's the whole, it's just noise, and you've got to get it out of the way so you can really laser in and focus.
Mhm. And right now, by the end of the year, it's go time because we're going to be setting ourselves up for 2026 right now. We're going to be finishing the year strong. But what you do now, I think it's going to really determine what happens to you in 2026.
Yeah.
Yes, I tell our people, I says, you need to burn the boats. You don't need to be thinking about what am I going to do? What job am I going to go get when this doesn't work?
Mm.
You got to get all in. Get all in.
Yeah. There's it's a really good one. It's I've got it teed up for on the event playlist, and you'll know what song it is, but it's where's it at? Um Let me get it. Yeah. Backup Plan with Bailey Zimmerman and Luke Combs song, right?
Mhm.
The backup plan is get back up, and there's no plan B. There is no backup plan, and it's got to be all in.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I've encouraged our people also to get out of our area and go to some of the EXP events, go to some of we just got back from Phoenix to an elevated series that Dustin Runyon and Tyler Blair was putting on. John Chaplack was there. Phenomenal event. Phenomenal event. And our people attended Build 2025 this year with Brent Gove in Dallas. And I mean, you got to encourage your people to get out of the
Mm-hmm.
office and go to some events so they can see and broaden that vision.
Mm-hmm.
Our people came back on fire after seeing Brent Gove in the lineup that was at Build 2025 this year. So
Yeah.
that was another team building thing that we do in building that culture. Birthdays are a big thing. I mean, people want to say that birthdays don't matter. They do matter. They do matter. Your clients, your agents, if you can celebrate their birthdays, get them a little gift. They think about it. They remember it. Our
Always.
go-to is Kendra Scott. We do earrings, bracelets, things like that from Kendra Scott, and they all love it.
Mm-hmm.
And spending time with them, having lunch with them. So we like to pour into our agents. And, EXP gives us an incredible opportunity now to build under them in their downline. We're helping several of our agents right now build out their downlines.
Yeah, it is. It's especially the ones that, that want to do that. You're there to be able to support them. You're not forcing your agenda.
Mhm.
You have principles, you have standards, you have values. which align the community, yet you're there to support them in whatever endeavor they're looking, to be on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I know that was kind of the topic, is the secret to leading the agents. That's the secret, right? Is, getting them into an environment that they have an opportunity to be able to, achieve the outcome that they want to achieve. And they believe it's possible to do what they want because you've curated and casted a big enough vision. And that's a lot of conversations that we've, I'm a DW, right, on the Working Genius. So I'm gonna poke holes at everything, but I'm also gonna, put your head, 30,000 foot in the clouds. And if you, don't have that massive vision and they can't see them accomplishing their dreams, they're going to go down the road until they can find somebody or find a vision, or if they're visionary enough to be able to create that big future. But I think the other, thought to this had, another great leader had, yourself obviously today, had Blake on yesterday on One Big Fire, had Steve Zahn on the podcast yesterday as well, talking to these leaders that are pushing themselves as well. And I was listening to Ben Hardy's new book, The Science of Scaling, driving in to the office this morning. And I was on the part to where he was talking about, you have to be the best you, because he said no 10, talking about talent, level 10 talent will never stay around with a level 8 leader. And so if you are not leading the community, if you're not leading yourself, and if you're not making yourself the best, going to these events, taking your team to these events, if you're not pouring into yourself, even the opportunity to build a community like this doesn't exist.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. I agree with that. Get to the events, get to see the vision, and bring back the vision. Get your agents to the event so they can bring back the vision to the agents that didn't go to the event.
Yeah.
It's it definitely has a trickle effect. It's amazing what happens when you plug into some events with your people.
And I mean, you're such an inspiration and a role model. I mean, you never stop doing the work. And I think that's the lesson, folks listening in is like, I mean, you've been playing this game a long time. You can kick it back in the Cascades. You can just keep hanging out. You can keep playing golf. You ain't gotta be on this call. You don't have to be on an 8:30 call Monday morning. And that to me is the sign that somebody's doubling down on themselves and on the fundamentals, because the ripple effect is the community, is the agents. It's not possible if you're not, making yourself the best version, staying plugged in, staying into the events, nonstop learning, always asking questions. I mean, every time we jump on a call, you got 3 or 4 questions just lined up, ready to go. And I think that's what people need to pay attention to, right? Pay attention to those that are actually doing the work, like yourself.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having me on today. It's been such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. Always connect with you.
You will do it again for sure. So those of you guys out there, make sure you give Cindi lots of love. If you're not following her on social media, get on social media, follow her. She's all over Facebook and Instagram. And Cindi, I can't thank you enough. You're amazing.
Thanks, John.
Good to see you. We'll see you guys. Bye.